Returning to our coverage of the upcoming US election, joining us live now is Republican political strategist Matt Klink. Matt, appreciate you making the time for us. Thanks so much. It looks like Donald Trump is really planning to capitalise on these garbage comments we've been reporting on from Joe Biden as much as possible in the final stretch to Election Day.
You know, he's having a lot of fun with it. And I think that the hallmark of a campaign that's going well is the ability to quickly capitalize on mistakes by the other side. And this was a classic unforced error by Joe Biden. Kamala Harris had just given her rousing speech that was going to be how she frames up the last week of the campaign. And then Joe Biden calls all Trump supporters garbage. And that's all that everybody's talking about. And then Donald Trump jumps on the opportunity and shows up in a garbage truck in a reflecting vest to really have some fun with it. So I think you're going to see this vest pretty much from now through the end of the campaign.
He's very good at the theatre, the optics, no doubt about that. How close do you think it's going to be? They're on the ground following this as closely as you are. Just how tight are you expecting this to turn out to be?
The election is tight, but the momentum is clearly with Donald Trump right now. He is driving his message. His agenda is actually more popular and forward-looking. Kamala Harris has gone very dark the last 2 weeks, talking about Donald Trump being a dictator, a fascist, a Nazi, an existential threat to democracy, but not offering Americans any hope. So at least right now, there are two campaigns going in different directions. But look, we have 6 days of campaigning left, and it's close enough so that another unforced error by someone could swing it one way or the other.
And that when it comes to your expectation of turnout on the day, this is always fascinating for Australians because obviously we have compulsory voting here. But as we know, sure, turnout is so crucial in the US. What are you expecting on that front?
So all of the numbers that I've seen across the 7 swing states and generally nationwide show a turnout that will be lower than 2020, in part just because there's less enthusiasm for both candidates. But it will still be high. The question is how high. It used to be in the past that if the turnout were higher, it benefited Democrats, but that's not the case now. More Democrats now vote early and vote by mail. Republicans have closed that gap for the 2024 election. So, I mean, I think it's more important because this election is going to be tight. It's who votes. And that's why each campaign right now is doing their best to turn out their supporters, doing whatever it takes to get them to the polls.
And Matt, as a Republican and someone who's very close to all of this, just how confident are you more broadly in the electoral system? Again, this is an anomaly for us in Australia where we have the Electoral Commission here looking after all of the votes and the counting process. Are you confident that the right structures, the right processes are in place to avoid a debate around voting integrity in the days, weeks and months after the election?
Oh, there will always be questions on voter integrity. There have been for every election that I think that I've been alive. Because we don't have a federal, while we are voting on federal candidates, the elections are run by the states and ultimately by the counties. So each state has their own rules and they all are slightly different other than, we all vote on the same day, but the polls close at different times. We use different voting machines. So I think that there's a reason that both the Republicans and the Democrats have thousands of attorneys that are going to be on call so that if anything does go wrong, that they can fix it. There's always some problems, but again, the problems are never big enough to change the ultimate result of the election.
Matt Klink, really great to speak to you, coming to us live there from Los Angeles. Enjoy the next few days and the lead up to the big poll. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.